Alright guys, so I am going to be doing a review of another comic that my good friend Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid, sent me, and this is Moon Knight, Too Tough to Die. This is the second volume in the Jed MacKay Moon Knight run, and yeah, we're going to be talking about this book. Chris, thank you once again for this comic. So the second volume of Jed MacKay's Moon Knight basically picks up right after, obviously, the first volume, where Zodiac, who I literally forgot was a villain that had been introduced into the Marvel Universe way back in Dark Reign, and nobody did jack shit with him, decided, I'm gonna go fuck with Moon Knight, because I think that Moon Knight's being too much of a bitch, and I think he should go back to cutting people's faces off. So, yeah. So that's where we are. This also does have a tie-in to Devil's Reign. But yeah, so this is set during the Devil's Reign storyline. And yeah, this is just Moon Knight going around kicking Z-list villains' asses. That's what I kind of like about this book, is that literally every supervillain you see in here, in one way or another, is a villain that has existed in the Marvel Universe. It's not like they made... they made villains for this comic. They didn't. Every one of these villains I looked up, oh, it's real. That's a character. That's a character. It's, yeah, none of these people are just made up for this comic. Everyone here is a character in the Marvel Universe. And I like that. I like how Jed MacKay really brings this kind of life to all these characters. Like, he really does know how to juggle all of these and reintroduce all of these different rogues and villains. Even though Moon Knight has had a rogues gallery, most of it is dead. Yeah, let's be real. A vast majority of Moon Knight's rogues gallery is dead. So of course he's gonna Jed MacKay is probably gonna make. Now, he could have easily done the whole route of, I'm gonna make new villains for him, but MacKay was like, no, I'm going to take other characters, and I'm going to make them into his rogues gallery. So, yeah. So, I really like that. So, we have characters ranging from the Punisher villain Jigsaw, we have Man Mountain Marco, a C-list Spider-Man villain, we have one villain, Waxman, who, yeah, Waxman was a Spider-Woman villain. You have the House of Shadows, which is a very obscure Doctor Strange villain. Yeah. Even one character in particular, 8-Ball, plays a role in here, here and there. And I like how they kind of set up on this. They also tie into this with the Clea Strange comic, where 8-Ball, like, Moon Knight just psychologically torments 8-Ball whenever he feels like it. Like, that's his thing, is that he just psychologically torments 8-Ball. Also, I'm gonna say right now, I'm very much convinced Jed MacKay really wants to write Batman. I would not be shocked if Jed MacKay tries to get his hand at Batman at some point. Not just for the villains thing, but he's clearly writing Batman and Joker with with Moon Knight and Zodiac. That really does feel like half the time. And I'm not saying that as a knock. I'm in no way saying that as a knock. It's more of, yeah, we're trying to do Marvel's Batman and Joker here in this comic. But, yeah, I really do like how he's been building on this, on these characters, and building with Moon Knight, who is trying to be a better person and trying to handle all of these little aspects, and just top of it, Zodiac, who has been trying to take advantage of Mark's life throughout it. I also will say that they did do it, like in the first volume I talked about how Tigra was more than likely sent by the Avengers to monitor Moon Knight, because this is set after the Jason Aaron run where he had beaten the Avengers and ushered the age of Moon Knight. And I did say in that story, I'm pretty sure Mark already knows that she was sent by the Avengers, and I really hope it's not like, oh, you betrayed me and all that. No. It did exactly what I thought it was, and I was very happy for it. Of seeing Moon Knight was like, yeah, I know you were sent by the Avengers, Tigra, but I'm not an idiot. They wouldn't just be fine with a therapist, of course they were going to send someone to monitor me and probably take me down if I went too far. And she's like, why didn't you do anything? He's like, because I needed my friend. So I was like, I like that. I really do like it. I also love Moon Knight's supporting cast. Hunter's Moon, the other fist of Khonshu. You have Reese, who is a vampire. Soldier, who is an ex-Hydra soldier. Literally, that he just goes by Soldier. And a new character called Rutherford Winter, who is probably going to play a bigger role, and along with this, his therapist, Dr. Oh, what was her name? I'm trying to... I gotta look it up real quick. Dr. Sturman. Yeah, Dr. Sturman. She's really cool, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have more stuff with her in the near future as well. Yeah, this has been a really solid series. I can't wait to read Volume 3. I've really been loving this era of Moon Knight. It's been a lot of fun. Jed MacKay really has a lot of fun with this character, and with the playing in this like little sandbox in the Marvel Universe. He clearly knows what he's doing. He's not trying... He's doing some status quo changes, but it all makes sense for Moon Knight. Like, it's all stuff you could easily see in the Moon Knight mythos. Is these wonderful little changes, and adding all these other villains, and bringing a lot of love to these D-list and Z-list villains. Like, it's really cool to see all these villains rather than just be cannon fodder like you see in most comics. And there are some cannon fodder in here, but for the most part, yeah. A lot of these characters are just thrown to the side, and yeah, they are it's kind of weird to see them, and also done. It's just kind of nice to see these kind of characters get new life, even if it's for being part of a story. It's kind of nice, and even though they are cannon fodder for Moon Knight, and Jesus Christ, I'm not gonna spoil it, but what he does to Waxman. Yeah, it's hardcore. Like, yeah, what Moon Knight does, what Mark Spector does to Waxman is very fucking hardcore. And I was like, damn, dude. Yeah. So, yeah, if you've been loving Moon Knight and you loved the first volume, definitely check out Moon Knight Too Tough to Die. This is definitely a series I want to keep reading. So, yeah, thanks, Chris, for sending me Volume 2. I loved it as much as Volume 1, and yeah, so there you go. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, if you've read Moon Knight Too Tough to Die, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Once again, I'd like to thank Chris for sending me this comic, but other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.